when the most successful young adult film is Twilight, you're not really going to get...
You're not expecting much.
No, you're not expecting much. It's not a genre that allows for complex characters or complex plots. It's a specific genre that, whilst very successful and whilst can still be a very enjoyable movie, has certain flaws to it that are inherent to it being successful as a young adult film, but ultimately unsuccessful as other films. And it's kind of the problem that I think we both have from different perspectives as to why Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, that's the first and last time I'm saying that, isn't the runaway success that it should have been based on directors, based on cast. As a young adult film, it does really well. It's a really enjoyable story. It meets all the criteria that it needs to be a good young adult film, and it does it well. It's a very engaging world. I think the cast do a very good job. Eva Green, we both agree, is amazing in this, and indeed everything else. And so all of the cast do what they need to do. There's certainly some casts that are underutilized, Samuel L. Jackson being a really good example of that.
And Judi Dench.
And very much so. Judi Dench, who gets like the sum total of 10 lines, I think, in this film. So underutilization there, and I expected a lot more from Judi Dench. But ultimately a really good cast, some interesting characters that all remain one-dimensional, because one of the problems / purposes of a young adult film is to highlight our main character. And whilst we have a good character that's slightly two-dimensional, maybe all the other characters have to remain one-dimensional in order
for him to shine, yeah.
Exactly. So you don't get an amazing depth in terms of characters and cast in that regard. Also, the plot has to contain some plot holes and some weird moments where you're like, well, why is he now an awful shot and can't shoot an arrow, and then at the climax is able to be amazing, because that's what has to happen in this genre of film. There's other certain plot points that just don't move along particularly well because of that. So it has lots of problems, but I think compared to other young adult films, it's the one I've enjoyed the most.
Okay, on that note, my perspective is coming from a hardcore Tim Burton fan. I think I've been watching.
You've got Beetlejuice tattooed on his back.
I've been watching his films since I remember watching films ever. So I have very high expectations, especially with the pressure of him being the director and not just the producer, which he has been for Alice in Wonderland, which was, I thought, better than this. This to me was very, very average for a Tim Burton film.
Most certainly.
It fits in the category of, what did we say? The Golden Compass, which was terrible, although it had Evergreen. And Lemony Snicket's series of Unfortunate Events, but that's not a young adult film. Also, it reminded me of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. That was terrible, because the main character was so boring and drab. But as Matt said, that's part of the young adult genre. But
you have to be able to project yourself onto the character accordingly. The main character has to be bland, which is a problem for anyone who isn't wanting to watch a young adult film.
In my opinion, Tim Burton should not be making young adult films.
Entirely correct.
Yeah, because he's Tim Burton. We expect to be thrown into a world not knowing the origin or why, and just be taken on a wild journey and enjoy it. This spent like at least a good 50 minutes, 50 minutes, setting up a very boring character we didn't care about. We didn't want to know his whole life story, drama with his dad. And the guy who played the dad is so funny, but it just all fell flat, I thought. It was very, very drab. And then when you get into the world, you're expecting the usual Tim Burton, weird, wacky, wonderful, why am I here, what am I doing, this is so trippy sort of feeling, but it never happened. And
there were brief glimpses of it.
Yeah, for example,
there was like a splattering and a sprinkling, but nothing more.
But he's Tim Burton. Other people are allowed to have a sprinkling of his style in the films, but he is allowed to drive it home. No matter how far it pushes you, you're supposed to feel like you're on, an acid trip.
This feels more like you could snuggle up with popcorn at home watching it, not be tripping balls.
Exactly. So I don't know. As a very, very die-hard Burton fan, I was very disappointed. I even thought Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was better, even though that's based on a story already.
Yeah.
So the best part for me was probably Eva Green's performance. I think with every Tim Burton film, there's a character that you sort of get pulled into the world by, into his universe by, and she did that very well.
Yes.
But she does that well in like all the
does.
films she acts in.
I kind of got the impression that if another director had directed the film, it would have been the same.
With two main scenes of Tim Burton style being the puppets fighting each other.
Which was very good.
That was cool, and the skeleton
Fighting the hollows at the end.
That was very good.
That was amazing. That was excellent, and the music that accompanied it was just so comical.
It made you laugh, and you looked at it and you thought, that's Tim Burton.
But you were still entertained. It was still a good fight scene.
But the rest of it, I mean, it could have been
anyone else.
Narnia. It could have been Golden Compass.
It was actually very Narnia-ish.
Very much, and the kids having all, that sort of style.
And they weren't that peculiar. I mean, they were strange more than peculiar.
Yes.
Like an invisible person isn't peculiar. Like we've seen the Invisible Man so many times.
Have we seen him though?
Oh my word.
Have we?
That's we're at that level.
That's it as a show, just like this movie. Okay, no, yeah. Tim Burton, I don't know.
I think if you are a teenager, you'll love this.
Yeah.
Because it definitely draws you into the world and makes you feel like
I'm all angsty
and I'm important.
Yeah.
It does all of that really well. If you're going as a Tim Burton fan, don't.
Why else would you go to watch this movie?
Because you're a teenager. If you're a teenager or want to be a teenager, watch this film. You'll enjoy it.
For Burton fans who are watching, guys, be very scared for Beetlejuice 2. If he's going to come with 3D animation, I'm leaving. I'm not prepared. That is just not okay. Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands, go and watch those again. Leave this one. Leave it.
Okay, so thumbs. I suspect we're going to disagree on these thumbs.
Thumbs, I'm giving half for Eva Green because her eyeliner was on point and she played her role well. Half.
I was actually also going to go half. Yeah, cool.
Great. Thank you for watching. I'm Talia.
I'm Matthew.
And this has been the critics' review of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.